Welcome back for some Washington Demon baseball on the Southeast Iowa Video Network, powered by the Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Out there on the mound, Connor Lydon going up against Lincoln Rye to lead off this ball game. Connor Lydon trying to start things off good for the Demons after their 12-2 win earlier today, but a shot in the gap by Rye will put a runner aboard to lead off the ball game.
Yeah, Lydon 1-2 on the year, 4.36 ERA coming in, pitched about 17, just over 17 innings. 18 runs, 11 earned on the year, so good opportunity for him. He's been a red-hot hitter for this Demons team. Excited to see what he can bring on the mound. Nice outing for Ethan Peebler in the first game. See if Lydon can maybe match his 8 strikeouts. Obviously has to limit some of the walks, but a good start for Lincoln Rye out at center to get the hit, lead things off. Saw Washington obviously lead things off, took advantage of a bunch of mistakes for that to take that 5-0 lead there in the bottom of the first. So perhaps Keokuk trying to manufacture the same thing. It's always so interesting with these doubleheaders, Joel, how different the score line can be in the second game. You can have an absolute blowout in the first, and then the second can be, a nail biter and a really close game. And I'm curious to see what adjustments Keokuk's going to make here. These two teams have battled back and forth for a number of years, obviously conference opponents, and hungry for their first win. I'm excited to see if they can battle back here in the second game.
And called strike 3 for the first out of the ball game. Connor Lydon having some great control so far in this game. But yeah, if you're Keokuk, you just got to watch that game 1, I think. You just got to forget about it, Parents are watching Ted Lasso now, and, one of the sayings is, be a goldfish. Forget about the last scene that happened. And that's exactly what they will need to do if they want to come back and win the game 2. Because there's just, you said it, mistake after mistake from the Chiefs that the Demons took advantage of every opportunity when they were given it.
I would like to know how many professional teams at the highest level have now used Ted Lasso as real advice, because they should. So yeah. It's a phenomenal show, and you're right. Be a goldfish. I think that message should resonate with Keokuk. Maybe they'll get a believe sign going in that dugout as well.
Here's a hit and run opportunity. This one laced in the left field. Here comes Rye over to third. He gets the stop sign put on, but a double for Bennett Church. And the Chiefs have something cooking here in the top of the first.
Yeah, outstanding start to this game number 2. Bennett Church, we saw his base running ability as well. I'm not sure he's going to exactly encourage Thomas Niemczek to steal home, but we saw him steal a couple of bases. He's a good base runner. See him get the extra base there, that hard hit into left. They weren't really making that kind of contact against Peebler to start last game. Lydon's got to lock in here.
Ball up top to Zach Gilpin. And Connor Lydon, he's had a couple solid outings for the Demons, but he typically has an inning or two where he gets battered around. And Coach Roush wants to see him get himself out, and not only get himself out of the inning, but hit the reset button the next inning and get back to pitching lights out like he typically does. And so far, it seems like this inning is one where he is getting batted around. Some good contact so far from the Chiefs. And he'll not only try and get out of this inning scoreless, but keep the Chiefs off the board the rest of this ball game. This was an offense that was pretty silent last game, only 2 runs.
Yeah, they've been pretty silent all season, frankly. And, Lydon, you look back at his last outing, he played 2 games ago for Washington against Fort Madison, pitched 6 innings in that one, 5 hits, 3 runs, just 1 earned. So 3 strikeouts as well. He can get dialed. That was a tough 6-4 loss that Washington took to 4th place Fort Madison, but Lydon had some good moments in that game, had some good stats to put up, and be looking for kind of a bounce back to help his team get in the W column at least.
And a swing and a miss there pushes the count to full count. And yeah, back to that Fort Madison game. That went 10 innings, and he provided a really good start for the Demons, and that defense kind of hurt him a little bit. The 3 runs, 2 unearned, but they're gonna want to outing just like he had here against the Chiefs. Is, big conference game, trying to get that third conference win now after nabbing their second win here earlier today.
When you mentioned it was a good start against Fort Madison, it hasn't been a good start here, frankly, but can he battle and get out of it? It's a little bit of a different situation, but certainly want to
pitch up high, ball 4.
That was 3 pitches. 3 of those balls just well above the zone there, and I think he kind of wanted that ball to break on that 4th pitch, just didn't get it. A little bit of some loose command there. He's got to dial back.
When things get working for Leiden, he typically goes with the fastball curveball combo to get the first couple of strikes, but his strikeout pitch is that changeup low and away. He hasn't put himself in the position to use that at all today, getting behind in a lot of counts so far and allowing some good hits from Lincoln Ryan, Bennett Church. And now the bases are loaded, 1 out. Leiden looking for an answer. 1-0 count to Evan Beerworth. He'll be the pitcher for the Chiefs when we get to the bottom of the first when that happens. And Beerworth trying to help himself out before he even gets out there on the mound. Try and bring home a run or 2 with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just outside. 2-1 now.
That was a better curve that time by Washington there, dropped low in the zone and just missed outside, but a lot better command there.
Now a pop-up, this one behind the plate. If it stays in the stadium, it could be an out, but that will fly out of the ballpark. So 2-2 count. A pop-up in foul ball territory is not at all what you would want if you're Beerworth, not only just because of an out, but with the bases loaded, an out can still bring home a run unless it is popped up in the foul territory or shallow infield. Here's the pitch, swung on, hit out to left field. Ball is caught out there by Medrano, but the throw in won't be in time, so the sac fly will score the first run of the ball game for the Chiefs.
Well, and exactly what you said, Joel. You didn't want that pop up in the shallow infield or even the shallow outfield, but you had more of a line out. The ball got out there to left quickly, and the throw was a decent one as well, but it was just had enough distance on it to allow for the tag and a perfect sac fly there for Keokuk, and just like that, they got their first lead of this whole series here today after going down big. So strong start for them here against Leiden.
Yeah, in last game, it was Washington to get on the board early and often, 5 runs in that first inning. This 1 run isn't quite the 5 the Demons had last game, but it'll help out this team who's had a lot of struggles defensively. And, when the pressure was put on, they weren't able to make a lot of those game-winning plays that you'll need throughout the ball game. There's a swing and a miss there to even it up 1-1.
Nice pitch there by Leiden. But you're right, and it hasn't really been down to any defensive errors for Washington so far. And the big thing, I think, as well, is we'll see how this Keokuk defense responds to a poor outing in their first game. But there have been some really hard hit balls, particularly into left. Some good contact made by the Keokuk batters. If they can figure out Leiden quickly, that's going to put Coach Roush in a little bit of a bind in terms of how he handles the pitching rotation for the rest of this one.
Especially with Mitchell Zaglowski there behind the plate. You probably won't bring him in to pitch in relief at all today. Of course, in a pinch, you might have to. But you got Parsons still. He's been out and often here for the Demons. Been pretty solid, especially as an 8th grader. And Cole Vetter also someone who's available. 1-1. Popped up there. Shallow. Right fielder to actually fly back into the infield, and the catch will be made by Ethan Peebler at first base for out number 3. The Chiefs score 1 to take the lead as we head to the bottom of the first.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Back here in between the top half of the first and the bottom half. Out there on the mound for the Chiefs is Evan Beerworth. And up at the plate here for the Demons, leading off will be Nate Edmonds. And going up next is Mitchell Zaglowski. He's the catcher today. Blaze Richardson batting in the 3 spot. Clean up again, Bowden Brown. Connor Lydon there at 5. Parsons, Medrano, Ethan Peebler, and Luke Schiebel rounds out the order for the Demons. They put up 12 runs in the last game. But for the Chiefs, you got Lincoln Ray, Sean Nemec, he struck out there in the first. Bennett Church, Zach Gilpin, Evan Beerworth out there on the mound. Micah Hagee, Lucas Gilpin, Luke Wills, and Evan Carr. He'll be batting this game. He was in right field last game, but didn't get the start in the order. So he'll get his first couple plate appearances of the series here in this ball game. But Nate Edmonds did a great job last game in that leadoff spot. He scored 3 times. Of course, he got on twice because of an error, grounded out to second. So the box score 0 for 3, not as great. He's got that 1 walk in the 5th, but when he got on, he made stuff happen. Those 3 runs key for the Demons.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And obviously the 2 notable kind of switches from Washington's lineup. We've got Isaac Medrano, who got on base on his 1 at-bat in the last game, coming in hitting 7th, and then Ethan Peebler, who is, of course, pitching and served in the field, so didn't hit in that starting lineup for game number 1. I'm curious to see how they do kind of at the end of the order. But yeah, the story of the game for Washington's been the top. And this guy, Nate Edmonds, red hot here, and we'll see how well Keokuk can kind of deal with him this game. But if he can get the same start he got last time, certainly Coach Roush and company will be very grateful, especially with a 1-run deficit here to start.
Yeah, they need to score some runs. And Ethan Peebler, he's playing first base and hitting in this game, taking the spot of Ty Wright, who's also another name to keep a watch on in case the Demons need to go to the bullpen. Yeah, First pitch of the ball game from Beerworth misses for a ball.
Wright's had a couple slower starts as a starting pitcher, but haven't seen him too much in relief. Be interesting to see how he adapts that role if he does come in. Had a really good outing hitting the ball as well. He's obviously out of the lineup for this one, so we'll see if he maybe comes in as a pinch hitter later on, but got on base a couple of times in that first game. I was impressed with him. Disappointed too, Joel, that we don't get the pencil bat from Ty Wright in game number 2.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I love seeing it out there, but maybe we'll see it later, like you said, or you mentioned his shaky starts that he's had. As there's a ball up high, 3-1 count, but he came out of the bullpen against Burlington a couple weeks ago and looked pretty sharp. He had 2 walks, but didn't allow a hit and had 4 strikeouts in an inning in the 3rd pitch. So, maybe they go more to him as a bullpen arm the rest of the season, starting with tonight. But we will see where that goes. As Nate Edmonds starts off the offensive half of the inning for the Demons with a walk.
Yeah, not a hit, but certainly getting on base with your leadoff runner, matching what Keokuk did at the top of the first. You'll take it any way you can get it if you're Edmonds, and brings up Zaglowski, another guy who got on base a few times last game.
Check over at first, not in time. The ball bounces out of the glove of the first baseman Church there. We saw that a lot last game for the Chiefs. They would get to the ball pretty well, but it just seemed to keep bouncing out.
Yeah, there were a couple really bizarre sort of errors among, the 8 that they had. And that throw over was a decent one, like you said, and the ball just dropped, obviously, at the foot of the first baseman over there. In the end, no harm, no foul for Bennett Church, who was the one throwing it over, obviously, in the first game. But you certainly don't want to throw it past him. There's a lot of space back there behind first base, and can be risky, some of those throwovers, given how Keokuk's defenses look today.
Throw over again over the first, not in time. So still an 0-1 count. Zaglowski had a base hit in the last game, came around to score twice, and also had an RBI sac fly. Now the runner goes, their pitch is outside, and Edmonds gets a second safely and easily, standing up. So Zaglowski's at bat now turning into a 1-1 count and an RBI chance with that runner in scoring position.
Not a bad throw by Wills back to second again, but just not quite in time, not quite corralled either over there at second.
Beerworth, his next throw, missing just outside there too. A 2-1 count. Beerworth trying to hold on to this 1-0 lead here early in this ball game. That one's fouled away to even up the count, 2-2.
Decent breaking ball that time, sort of caught Zaglowski swinging at it, dropped kind of out of the zone. He was reaching away, managed to get the tip of the bat to it, but it's a nice pitch out and away. See if Beerworth goes back to that maybe.
2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. The first out of the ball game coming for the Chiefs on a called strike 3 from Zaglowski. Blaze Richardson will now be up to bat.
And again, that changeup, he goes right back to it, paints the outside of the zone, drops it well away, and Zaglowski decided to take it that time after swinging a little bit waywardly. So that was a good pitch there by Beerworth.
Beerworth has pitched in 6 games this season, his first start of the year, as that one's dribbled over to second. Blaze Richardson thrown out at first, but Edmonds will advance to third.
Now batting for the Demons, number 7.
Bowden Brown now up to bat, and back to what I was saying, Beerworth making his first start of the season. He's pitched just over 9 innings, 9 1/3. He has yet to allow an earned run, has allowed 3 hits and 5 total runs, 3 walks as well, but no strikeouts. His walks hits per inning pitch is .64. Really good numbers there, as there's one bobbled by the shortstop, Zach Gilpin, and we have a tied ball game. So the errors already
now batting for the Demons,
coming back to bite the Chiefs here as that run scores, and you know that's a lot of what we saw last game.
Yeah, right back to it. Another error in the first. Should have really had the third out of this first inning, but instead a run scored for Washington. That will be really frustrating for Keokuk if that becomes a story of back-to-back games here.
Tries to go fastball up high, misses. 1-0 count to Connor Lydon.
Ironically, it was Zach Gilpin who had fairly sure hands among the Keokuk outfielders in that first game. Obviously, shortstop, such a difficult position to play, but didn't really notice him making or accounting for many of the errors that Keokuk had. But again, you've just had some dribblers that they've just sort of misread and not gotten in their gloves cleanly, and that's obviously gonna make throws be late and runners safe.
Yeah, I mean, he had Zach Gilpin out there at short. Had a couple of good plays there in the second inning last game that allowed the Chiefs to find their feet a little bit, stay in the ball game for the first couple of innings, but you know, allowing that run there in the error in this new ball game to tie it up, not ideal here in the bottom of the first. Pitch to Lydon, he's going to swing and drive one down the left field line, but that'll just be foul. It was great contact, a hard-hitting line drive, just a little early on it, though.
It's the most frustrating strike that you can get on the field. It was well hit, like you said. A lot of space over there in left. Foul pole's about 330 away, and there's a lot of green over there if you can get it into that space, as Washington did a lot last game.
And this ball outside and to the backstop. Brown over to second. And now runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Pass balls weren't the biggest problem with Keokuk's errors, but they did have a couple that allowed Washington to cruise in for some extra bases as well.
Try to clean it up here, 2-2 count, foul ball. Giving it chase is a couple of Chiefs players, but it'll sneak over the fence. The count remains 2-2 with 2 away.
I'm waiting for someone who saws it over to that right field line, for someone to try and get a step on the fence and maybe make the play there. Ty Wright came close for Washington playing first in the first game. I want to see someone attempt that potentially.
I think it's possible. It's a tall fence, but
It
it's
is a
not
tall fence.
extremely tall.
Yeah.
Like, you can still reach over.
Definitely might be easier said than done.
Definitely. Here's a well-hit ball into left center field. Giving it chase is Rye, and that'll drop behind him. That'll score a run. And Connor Lydon with an RBI double to give the Demons the lead.
And that felt like it was coming. The longer Connor Lydon stayed in that at-bat, he was getting such good contact on it. He's just able to drive that one, and a little bit misread out there by Rye in center. I wonder if he looked at the fence and thought it might have been carrying over and then sort of slowed up a little bit, and it just dropped right over his head and extra bases. But Connor Lydon, really good contact for him. I've mentioned before he's been the best hitter on this team. He's hitting .357 coming into this doubleheader, and looked like it at that at-bat.
A really well-struck ball, and that gives the Demons the lead. So all of a sudden, that one run that came across for the Chiefs now doesn't matter. Demons on top by 1.
Give it to up for Lydon, too. That was his 4th double of the season. He is leading Washington in that category as well. Not too many extra base hits for this Demons team overall, but they've got a guy who can get him in Lydon.
Parsons now up to bat. That ball bounces out of the glove of Wills, and Lydon will take third base. So Parsons sitting in a 2-0 count now. He's got a insurance run only 90 feet away. Beerworth focuses in. 2-0 pitch. This is up high. 3-0.
Yeah, and this is crunch time right now for Beerworth. Obviously, still 2 outs. Don't think the Demons are going to get as big of a lead as 5 runs, you wouldn't think, but can he stay dialed here and work his way out of this inning with just the 1-run deficit? Not a good at-bat for him there.
Nope. 4-pitch walk, and Parsons is on first. Men on the corners. And we went from the Chiefs looking like they were going to get out of this inning, no runs, to an error turning into a double from Lydon, and now the walk to not only give the Demons the lead, but now they got a 2-out rally going, men on the corners. And Isaac Medrano up to bat.
Yeah, his 4th start of the year. He got his 4th hit of the year in the first game.
And there's another one, base hit in between the third and short. The throw into third in time. You got Parsons trying to go over to third. But the Demons will scratch another run across there on the RBI single from Medrano, and they will head to the top of the second, up 3-1.
At Wolf Floral, you'll find everything you need to spruce up your summer. Located on the southeast corner of the Washington Square, we've got you covered from small gift items to the finest floral arrangements around. Wolf Floral, unique by choice, not by chance.
Breaking news.
Are you looking for a sports show with intensity?
And we'll see you in court, Mark Cuban, you broke bum.
Are you looking for a sports show with passion?
Moment of silence for the name Wells Fargo Arena.
And are you looking for a sports show with whatever this is?
And today we are counting down Justin Bieber's top 10 girlfriends. That's right.
Make sure to check out Andy and Hunter every Thursday on Prep Sports Plus, breaking down all the high school sports from across the Southeast Iowa region, talking about all your favorite schools such as Washington, Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Waco, Winfield Mount Union, Pekin, and so much more. Make sure to check out Prep Sports Plus every Thursday at noon on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
My name is Levi Lyle. I have lived in Kielder my entire life, but I've been an organic farmer for about a decade. Truly, the reason to do business locally is because of the joy and fulfillment that comes in relationships. Coming to Professional Proteins is an opportunity to work with good people.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
So the Chiefs jumped on the Demons in the top of the first, but the Demons returned the favor and did a little extra, up 3-1 as we enter the top of the second. Lucas Gilpin, Luke Wills, and Evan Carr up to bat. The 7, 8, 9 hitters. And Connor Lydon is looking to bounce back after getting hit around a little bit there in the first inning. Able to get out of it, just allowing the 1 run. And now a ground ball just hanging foul down the third baseline. That could have been a dangerous little dribbler had it stayed fair. It could have been another leadoff hit for the Chiefs, but instead it's 0-1.
Yeah, Gilpin had the error there at short that contributed to that Washington lead, but Keokuk got out of the inning well with a nice throw over from left. Had a couple nice plays in the outfield that, sort of gave rise some grief for the deep shot into center, but had that diving catch in the first game. Just inconsistent in the outfield, Keokuk.
And a drop third strike got him swinging, and that was an ugly swing there. Connor Lydon with a great pitch, great mix-up there. That'll be the first out of this inning. Luke Wills now up to bat. Gilpin has had a tough day through these 2 ball games. He's been up to bat 4 times in total now and has had 4 strikeouts.
Sometimes it's just not your day.
Yeah, tough one. Tough one to have. Wills was up to bat once last game. He walked. Got thrown out at second on a fielder's choice. Now a 1-0 count. Connor Lydon, good bounce back last inning, continuing his success so far. 1-1 count here in the top of the second.
Nice pitch, and again it was, Lydon painting the inside corner there of another righty, and that we talked about in our game break being the potential strategy for Washington to continue working. Worked really well for Ethan Peebler and Blaze Richardson in their rotation in the first game. That was a good second pitch there by Connor Lydon.
A good pitch, just missing though outside of the zone. 2-1. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on and missed. 2-2. He went back up top and Wills just swung through it.
Yeah, timing is just off for Luke Wills right now. I think Connor Lydon knows that. Might deliver some heat here.
Here comes payoff. It is heat. Up high. Able to lay off it though. A little too high there to get the batter to swing.
Definitely wanted that one to drop just a touch more there. Connor Lydon looked like he kind of couldn't decide between fastball and changeup.
Next pitch, called, third strike. Goes changeup there, down low, and gets the call. Back-to-back Ks to start the inning. 1 forward, 1 backward.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts there for Gilpin so far here today, and that was a really nice pitch. Instead of low and inside, went low and outside that time, and really had Wills guessing for most of that at-bat.
Try and repeat that again here against Carr. This is Carr's first at-bat of the ball game. He was designated hitted for last game. Now getting the batting duties. Takes his first pitch he sees, 1-0. Next one, called strike. Just caught the outside part of the zone.
Yeah, made 3 appearances coming in. Doesn't have a hit yet today, Carr. We'll see more utilized in the field.
That one missing down low, 2-1.
This is much better in this second inning here from Connor Lydon. Has a lot more command. The pitches are missing. The pitches that do miss are missing by a lot less. He had a couple really high and away in the first inning, and kind of lost control of the zone, like you said. Let off a leadoff hit that can really get to a pitcher, but he feels like he's dialed in a little bit more in this second inning.
Got a nice swing and a miss there. 2-2 count, and the thing I think he's improved upon most here in this inning is he's just missing the bats. Bennett Church got a hold of one, and there's a swing and a miss there. 3 up, 3 Ks. 2 swinging, 1 looking, and we'll add to the bottom of the second. Demons still on top, 3-1.
Here at the Morning Breath, we start every morning with style and grace. Engaging you with thoughtful and critically thinking topics to start your day,
Did you know that Pop-Tarts are like horrible for you?
while always maintaining a professional and family-friendly environment.
John, you're no longer a virgin.
Oh, and all the other stuff.
Wow, version. Yes. We talk on all over the world. Out of
There's another word for that, Peter. What do we call that? Cold.
It is cold. It's going to get
Weekdays at 7:15, only on the Southeast Iowa Video Network Facebook and YouTube page.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
Summer is here, and Fairway's got you covered all baseball and softball season long. With a large variety and low prices, Fairway is the easy home run choice for all your grocery needs. Make Fairway your home field advantage.
Back here for the bottom of the second at the Dick Seiko Memorial Field, Ethan Peebler steps in. He pitched 3 innings of no-hit ball in the first game of this doubleheader. Had 8 strikeouts, 5 walks, and now he's playing first base in this game and watches the first pitch go by him for a ball.
Yeah, Peebler obviously showed off his strikeout ability at the mound. Unfortunately, also leads this team in strikeouts with 13.
There's a fly out to center field. Lincoln Ryan picking it off in between right and center.
The team is number 12.
First out of this inning coming quickly. We saw on the Demons side, Leiden bounced back well there in the second, and Beerworth trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, you had some lengthy at-bats, some errors as well for Keokuk that did not help Beerworth's case. A one pitch out there will be beneficial to him, I think.
Schiebel up to bat, takes strike one, a nice curveball, just diving on into the zone.
Yeah, really nice curveball. Started almost at Scheibel's shoulder up there and just dropped right in the zone. No chance for him on that one. Good pitch.
Here's the 0-1. Just nipped him. Caught some of that jersey there, and that'll be a base runner for the Demons. That's the second hit by pitch Scheibel has worn here in the doubleheader. And this one will put a runner on with one away. Easy one to wear there. I mean, that barely touched him. It probably didn't even feel it.
It did, and Scheibel, again, an experienced player with getting hit by pitches, so I think he'll appreciate that one. I respect Wills' effort to try and reach his glove out and snag it before it clipped Scheibel, but nothing doing in the end.
Foul tip there. Scheibel goes down the second, though, in there safely. So 1 strike to Edmonds, but now a runner in scoring position. Edmonds walked in the first inning, stole second, and then came around to score on an error by the shortstop, Zach Gilpin. Now the count's even at 1-1 after that one misses high and inside. Stolen base takes away the double play opportunity with 1 out. Now this pitch in the dirt, 2-1.
Yeah, and Edmonds has really just improved his hitting stats here today. He's coming in at 278. Has had such a strong first game, like we mentioned. Really good leadoff hitter for this Washington team. And if he can really get firing, I think that's going to help him, or help this team out tremendously in trying to hunt some more wins here in the SEC.
Yeah, if this offense can get going, we've seen some great pitching from the Demons so far today. And, for the Demons, it kind of seems like one of them is on, one of them is off, and it hasn't really been consistently the offense or defense.
Well, and I think, it hasn't been perfect defensively either from Washington. We've talked about some of the errors on their side as well, and I think it's about limiting your mistakes as well. If you can do that, I think that, allows the bats to kind of get going offensively. If you know you're dialed in defensively, not making those mistakes, I think that can really help turn your fortunes offensively.
Yeah, once you start playing clean baseball, everything seems to just fall into place.
We've talked about the yips a few times on this broadcast, and I don't know, to me those can translate where you have them defensively, you're a little bit nervous, and that makes you start overthinking at bats too, and even when you're on base, choosing when to run, timing, all that stuff. I think all of that kind of flows together on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, now you see Keokuk allowing the Demons 2 free bases with the hit by pitch to Schiebel and then the walk to Edmonds. And Mitchell Zagłowski now up to bat, and he gets a free base, gets hit by the pitch up in the shoulder, and the bases are loaded.
Now batting number 8.
Again, these unforced mistakes by Keokuk just continue. I mean, these are three free base runners, and they're going to meet at the mound as a pinch runner's going to come over. 2 for Washington here. Looks like Daniel Chenoweth is going to come over and run. But
will courtesy run for the catcher.
Yeah, and this is a little different from what we saw earlier today, where the Chiefs were making a lot of mistakes in the field. They had a couple hit by pitches there at the end of the game and a couple walks, but mainly they were pitching well, putting a lot of balls inside the zone and inducing a lot of weak contact, which the defense didn't help out too often on. But now this game, it's Beerworth just throwing the ball a little too inside to these batters. Missed inside for the walk to Edmonds, and then, of course, the 2 hit by pitches. And you get a quick first out like you do. You really want to follow that up with a couple of outs. But now the bases are loaded with still only 1 away.
Yeah, and, we saw a mound meeting for Washington for Peebler when he had the bases loaded with nobody out, and how big of a difference that made. He was able to get out of that inning with, I believe, only 1 earned run, and we'll see if Beerworth can have the same kind of response here. But we saw how Washington can really pile on the runs with base runners on. Huge opportunity here for one of their better hitters as well.
Blaze Richardson takes ball 1 in the dirt. Didn't have to think about that one. Beerworth just trying to find something in the zone. Worst thing he could do here, already down 2, is walk a runner in. 1-0 pitch, swung on. High chopper to short, throw over to second, dropped. And the throwing error too after that one. Another run will come across, and both runners will advance. So now runners on second and third. Just a mistake turning into another mistake there, giving the Demons a 4-run lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And Richardson made really weak contact on that pitch as well. It was exactly what Beerworth would have wanted from a good contact hitter. And just, again, the defense behind him letting him down, and all of a sudden a big hole for the visitors that they're going to have to try and climb out of offensively, and still just 1 out as well. Really disappointing there, and a couple of errors from the defense there for Keokuk.
Yeah, Nemechek, the second baseman there, he dropped that ball and really just never had a shot at first base, but he still threw it there anyway, and that one got by. And, that's why sometimes you make the error especially when you're turning 2, you're spending a lot of time trying to get that out at second already. If you drop that ball, you just got to eat it and just take your loss. And in that position, it would have saved a run.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Definitely can't try to do too much there and force the throw. It becomes a difficult throw. You don't get the right grip on the ball when you're just trying to get it out quickly. It can slip, it can sky, which is exactly what happened, and it's costing runs here for Keokuk early.
And now a 3-0 count to Bowden Brown, in danger of loading the bases yet again. Still looking for an out. 4 consecutive players reaching base and not having to work too hard for it. I mean, we haven't seen solid contact from this Demon team since that first inning when Connor Lydon had the double. But a 4-pitch walk to Brown puts those bases loaded for Connor Lydon.
And while it's been rough for the Keokuk defense in both games, this inning, Beerworth really not helping with the pitching. So walked a couple of runners now, hit 2 batters. Just unforced adding of runners to base, and really dangerous territory here for Keokuk.
Ducks on the pond for Leiden. He'll take strike one. Deerworth finding the zone there. Been a little bit since he had done that.
Yeah, nice pitch. Just slid it right into the middle of the zone. Difficult pitch to swing at for Leiden. You're going to have to really battle here in this at-bat. I think Leiden was really feeling the contact. Got 2 hard-hit foul balls before that deep drive into center. So this is not who you want up if you're Keokuk, but Beerworth doing a good job getting him down 0-2.
Yeah, that nice curveball going straight at Leiden, then dropping in and cutting into the zone. 0-2 count. Here's the payoff. Swung on, and a dribbler to the pitcher. The throw home goes for the tag instead of stepping on the base, and that allows the runner, Zaglowski, to slide in safely.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be on Beerworth. I think you need to get the force out at first there. It took a little bit of a risk. It wasn't a hard hit ball. It was chopped, and maybe he was thinking just go home. It's the closer throw to make, but I think you got to turn and fire that to first. Just take the guaranteed out there. Even if it is a run, now you're still having the bases loaded, still just 1 out.
The pitcher Leiden.
That's a tough situation for Beerworth to make, but I think you may have made slightly the wrong choice there. Probably should have taken the free out, I think.
And Rugg will pinch run for Leiden out there at first. Julian Parsons up to bat. And just like game 1, mistake after mistake for this Keokuk defense. Now 1-0 count to Julian Parsons, who's had a pretty solid day. He walked in the first inning of this game, but last game had a single and a double. And now a well-hit ball to short. Thought about going to home, just goes to second to throw over to first, not in time, so add on another run for the Demons. As an RBI, fielder's choice puts the Demons up 7-1.
Yeah, and that time,
number 9.
just a slight hesitation. That potentially could have been a double play. It was a really good throw over by Nemechek there from second when they got the first out, but it was a little bit of hesitation there from the shortstop Gilpin. Thought about maybe rifling it to home, made the right choice, but in the end, still adding another run for Washington.
Now the 9th batter of the inning for the Demons. Here's a throw down the second, and it pops off the glove of Nemechek, and there comes the runner to score. Bowden Brown puts the Demons up 8-1. That's the second time we've seen that work out, where they send the runner at first over to second with men on the corner, and the runner from third is able to score.
Yeah, and it's just, you hate to sound like a broken record, but again, it's just been a rough showing from the pretty much all of the infield here for Keokuk. But Washington, credit to their base running. I mean, they're making them pay. They came in, they clearly knew that Keokuk's had some struggles in the field this season, and they're a good base running team, and they're showing it right now.
Putting that pressure on the defense. I mean, if they were just standing around at their bases, not looking to stretch any singles in the doubles or grab those stolen bases, Keokuk wouldn't have as much pressure on them where they would make mistakes as often, I don't think. But, Washington's done a good job keeping that pressure on, and Keokuk has continued to crumble underneath it. Swung on, fouled away, and out of play. Well, staying alive, 1-2 count. Medrano, he had RBI there in the last inning, but got thrown out.
Been impressed with his swinging, too, and came out, even in his one at-bat in the first game. Looked really good, did some good base running as well. He's done a good job staying in this at-bat here. A good take that time as that changeup was just a bit too low, but I've been impressed with him today, Medrano.
Yeah, I mean, it started out 0-2, took a ball, fouled one away, now another ball, and it's 2-2. He's back to even. A swing and a miss there is a swing and strike 3. That'll put an end to the top half of the second, where the Demons split some more runs and extend that lead by 5. 8-1 as we head to the top of the third.
At Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction, we provide everything from design to complete installation of your kitchen cabinets. For small town service with competitive prices, Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction are here for you.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Your adventure starts here. Capper Auto Group, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram will get you ready in style. Meet with our friendly and experienced team to find a vehicle that gets you on the road, and rely on our service shop to keep you there. Capper Auto Group. See yourself the Capper experience.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
At Washington Lumber and Home Center, our extensive knowledge, great pricing, and a long list of local installation experts, you are guaranteed to get the service you deserve with the quality you should expect. Washington Lumber and Home Center, your local place for great results.
After a long couple of innings, we're to the top of the third, and the Demons have just continued the story of these ball games so far tonight, just taking advantage of every mistake by the Chiefs. 8-1 now after the 5 runs. Bottom of the second, only 2 of which were earned runs.
Well, and on the other end, Connor Lydon didn't let Keokuk have the possibility of taking advantage of any Washington mistakes with 3 straight strikeouts.
Here's a deep drive to the left field. That's going back and backing up to the wall. A lead-off double. That'll be Lincoln Rye providing it. And that puts an end to a strikeout streak from Connor Lydon. And
now batting for the Chiefs, number 9.
3 up, 3 down on all Ks there in the second inning. But now this offense for the Chiefs looking to get things going. Down 7, not trying to repeat what happened last game with the 10-run mercy rule win by the Demons.
Well, Lincoln Rye watched one go over his head. So that one's caught out there and left. But Lincoln Rye watched one go over his head there in the first inning from Connor Lydon. Probably nice for him to hit one off of Lydon, loft one back into center and get his own double.
Yeah, and that was really well hit. I thought for a moment that might have a chance to escape the yard. Dick Soika Memorial Field is a little interesting. You got 330 down the left field line, 365 straight out to center field, and then 302 to right field, with the school kind of forcing the fence to not quite be as long. So there's a ball in the dirt that bounces in front of Zagłowski for ball 1 to Bennett Church. But I think if that ball was hit right center field, that might have just escaped.
Yeah, I think that would have been gone. And you have a little bit of unsatisfaction over there because you have the school back there, so there's the tall net that kind of catches the ball. It can't keep carrying on past the fence versus if you hit it to center, you're hitting it into a parking lot.
That ball in the dirt, and there goes Rye over to third base. It's a 2-0 count now, and these last 2 pitches from Lydon, both down low, just needs to lift it up a little bit.
Yeah, and frankly, it's been a good couple of at-bats for Keokuk. Even that line out, obviously, good for Lydon to get a quick out after giving up a big hit, but even that one was well hit into the middle of left field there. Good play there by Medrano to catch it, but making good contact, Keokuk, and then a few errand pitches for Lydon.
2-0 pitch from Lydon. That'll miss down low yet again. 3-0, all 3 in the dirt.
I'm wondering if there's a Bennett Church effect on this game. I feel like every at-bat has either been a hit, which he got the double in the first, or a walk, and he's been able to advance and then take a base with his base running ability.
He's only gotten out once today. There's a called strike in the 3-0 count. He had 2 walks back in game 1, and then the double, like you mentioned, in the first inning of this ball game. He's got the opportunity to get his first RBI of the day here with that runner on third. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and over to second. A leaping grab by Edmonds. What a play. Saves a run and keeps Rye back at third.
Well, that was a huge out for Washington. We've been talking about fielding mistakes all day. What a play by Edmonds to jump up. He's not the tallest guy in the world. Leapt up. I thought that was for sure going to loft over his head from our angle. Leapt up and made a really nice catch. And I think, if you're Connor Lyman, you've got to go over and give him a big hug if you get out of this inning. That felt huge for Washington. Looked like a chance for Keokuk to build some momentum with the runner on third and only one away. Huge play there for the second baseman.
Biden trying to get this third out of the inning here. He's got Zach Gilpin up. Our runner still at third because of that play, like you mentioned, from Edmonds. And now a 1-0 count. Missing outside, 2-0. So Leiden started Church off through 3 straight balls, but then was able to find the zone. Now missing yet again, this time not down low, missing outside. Here's the 2-0. Going right back outside, 3-0.
A ton of break on that pitch, was kind of outside the whole way. And a hitter's pitch opportunity here, it seems, or I would guess, for Gilpin.
3-0. And that ball inside, right on the hands, and called ball 4. So men on the corners now with 2 away. And Evan Beerworth up the bat.
Yeah, hit what ended up being a sac fly into left. And his first at bat. You wonder, I always like discussing at this level when, it's the pitcher often taking at bats. There's not as much designated hitting at the high school level. What a hit here for Beerworth could kind of do for his momentum on the mound, and knowing he's contributing to his own kind of offense, trying to chip away at this lead, could help him out. Maybe when he's back trying to hold off Washington.
It's going to be real tough. Throw down to third, and that's going to get over the head of Parsons, and that'll score the second Keokuk runner of the ball game as Rye comes across. So there's a mistake made by the Demon defense, and the Chiefs taking advantage of it. So the runner at second now with 2 away. 0-1 count.
That felt like an ill-advised throw for me from Zaglowski. Had to kind of bend around the batter to make it, and never looked like it really had a chance, even if it was on the money, and was too high that time.
Leiden trying to bounce back with the breaking ball, but that one just doesn't have enough bend on it. Stays up high for ball 1.
Got to give Beerworth props too. No batting gloves. Baseball guy mentality.
Old school. Takes a swing there, but misses. 1-2.
Nice pitch there by Leiden. Beerworth just swung right through it. Looked like he was maybe expecting a little bit of breaking ball. Seemed late on it.
1-2 pitch. Here comes the payoff. Trying to get out of this inning, just allowing the 1 run. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Up high. Blew it past him for strike 3. That'll be strikeout number 5, and we'll head to the bottom of the third. Demons up 6.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
At First Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with First today and see why together is better.
Back here in the top of the third, actually, what we thought was the strikeout pitch was only the second strike of the at-bat.
I think potentially maybe a scoreboard miscue that time. Yeah,
so we'll have to try again. keeping track of pitches down here too, and I also had 2 strikes, so I think it was that first pitch of the at-bat that was called a strike, and it was actually a ball. That one bounces off the glove of Zaglowski, though, and now it's a full count. The runner advances to third. And now with basically a second chance here, let's see if the Chiefs can bring another run across. Here's the full count pitch. Swung on, popped up in foul ball territory, but playable. Underneath it is the first baseman, Ethan Biebler, for out number 3. So, took a little extra longer than we thought and not a strikeout, but the Demons will escape, straining that runner at third. Now we'll head to the bottom of the third for some Demon offense.
At Wolf Floral, you'll find everything you need to spruce up your summer. Located on the southeast corner of the Washington Square, we've got you covered from small gift items to the finest floral arrangements around. Wolf Floral, unique by choice, not by chance.
Breaking news.
Are you looking for a sports show with intensity?
And we'll see you in court, Mark Cuban, you broke bum.
Are you looking for a sports show with passion?
Moment of silence for the name Wells Fargo Arena.
And are you looking for a sports show with whatever this is?
And today we are counting down Justin Bieber's top 10 girlfriends. That's right.
Make sure to check out Andy and Hunter every Thursday on Prep Sports Plus, breaking down all the high school sports from across the Southeast Iowa region, talking about all your favorite schools such as Washington, Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Waco, Winfield Mount Union, Pekin, and so much more. Make sure to check out Prep Sports Plus every Thursday at noon on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
My name is Levi Lyle. I have lived in Keokuk my entire life, but I've been an organic farmer for about a decade. Truly, the reason to do business locally is because of the joy and fulfillment that comes in relationships. Coming to Professional Proteins is an opportunity to work with good people.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page. Here at The Morning Breath, we start every morning with style and grace. Engaging you with thoughtful and critically thinking topics to start your day.
Did you know that Pop-Tarts are like horrible for you?
While
Back
always
here
maintaining
for
a
the bottom of
professional
the
and
third on the
family-friendly
Southeast
environment.
Iowa Video Network, powered by the Washington County Hospital and Clinics. The Demons trying to add to their 8-2 lead here, with Ethan Biebler leading off just like last inning, as that one's fouled away and out of play, right behind home plate. 0-1 count. Beerworth back out there. It's third inning of work, and he's struggled to get outs quickly. A lot of free passes on hit by pitches and walks, and not a lot of help from his defense. 1-1 now.
Yeah, big time for Washington defensively, too, to get out of that last inning and not let that sort of ghost third strike that they had to then trot back out there for get to them.
Fouled away for strike 2.
Broadcast booth would have been ready for that one if there was no net. Just would like to point that out.
I wish there wasn't. I want to see some of your fielding skills out here, man.
Get our gloves.
Maybe go home with a souvenir. Here's a hard ground ball, just right back at the first baseman. Making the play is Ethan Church as he steps on for out number 1.
Next up for the Demons, number 12, Luke Schiebel.
Luke Schiebel now up to bat. He was hit by a pitch there in that second inning in his first at-bat. Came around to score, and he really got things going for this Demon offense that didn't need to do much. In fact, they scored 5 runs without getting a hit. Pitch to Schiebel inside for ball 1.
Yeah, it was, just comedy of errors for Keokuk that have dug themselves into this hole, and they did a good job last inning to get at least 1 run to chip away at it, but have to limit the mistakes. That has been the story all game, and this Washington team has done a good job making them pay, and that really, I think, has to be the message for Coach Roush going forward. There are going to be there are better teams in this league that aren't going to make as many mistakes as Keokuk has in this doubleheader, but what it shows is how much you can capitalize when a team does make a mistake, even if it's an occasional one, and I feel like that has to be the name of Washington's game with their base running.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. I mean, the Chiefs are definitely going to make more mistakes than most of the teams in the SEC, but, I mean, this is like practice for the Demons on what to do when you're given an opportunity by some team, whether it's defensively making errors or just walking and allowing a lot of free passes. There's another one there. As Schiebel walks to be the first base runner of this inning. Nate Edmonds up to bat, but they're getting really good, I'd say, today at taking advantage of opportunities given to them.
Yeah, and, and improving their on-base percentages as well, learning how to take pitches, obviously. In this second game, Beerworth has really struggled hitting a few batters, a couple of walks as well, and, I think Washington's that's a good learning opportunity for them to, learn how to take those pitches, take those walks, lean into it a little bit, not be afraid of contact, to help get themselves on base, to create opportunities to potentially run.
And you talk about taking walks where Nate Edmonds, he's already had 2 walks this game. There's one at the top of the zone, throw down, Schiebel in there safely. Good base running from Schiebel today. He's got 2 stolen bases in this game.
And just like that, taking advantage of an opportunity. Schiebel knew exactly what he wanted to do, and no matter what the pitch was. I think there's been some struggles for Wills too at catcher to get it over to second. Doesn't quite have the power behind some of those throws, and Washington knows that and is tagging up really well on these steals.
1-1 count now to Nate Edmonds. Had a great play in the field in the top half of this inning. Now takes ball 2 right at his eyes.
Yeah, it was an extremely impressive catch. Hit a couple of web gems today, a couple from both teams with Edmonds. Jackson Morgan made a heck of a diving catch in center in game 1. So been some good fielding as much as there's been some mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, that diving catch in game 1, though, it didn't end up saving them from the loss. It did extend the game a little longer.
Yeah, and it certainly won. Worst case, Jackson Morgan, just a freshman. Hopefully he has a long and successful career with Keokuk, but, one he can throw on his highlight reel. It's never a bad thing.
Oh, yeah. Got to show that to some college coaches. 2-2 up high. Easy for Edmonds to lay off, and we got a full count with 1 away. Beerworth looks in, gets set, comes towards home. Called strike 3. Edmonds thought he walked, but right on the top corner of the zone.
Number 3.
2 outs
Mitchell
now.
Ziglowski.
And Mitchell Ziglowski up to bat.
Really big pitch there by Beerworth. Thought it might have been a little bit high. Obviously, Ziglowski, a little bit of a smaller frame, but just kind of tiptoed on the top of that zone. Hard pitch to hit. Well delivered by Beerworth. A big out for Keokuk.
A well hit ball to straightaway center field, and underneath it is Rye, and he will make the play for out number 3. A hard and loud final out of the inning, but we will head to the top of the 4th. Demons held scoreless to keep it 8-2.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
Summer is here, and Fairway's got you covered all baseball and softball season long. With a large variety and low prices, Fairway is the easy home run choice for all your grocery needs. Make Fairway your home field advantage.
At Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction, we provide everything from design to complete installation of your kitchen cabinets. For small town service with competitive prices, Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction are here for you.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Welcome back here for the top of the fourth on the Southeast Iowa Video Network, powered by Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Joel Keller here, along with Jack Norton. And the second game of a doubleheader, where the Demons won game 1 in 5 innings, 12-2. Now have a big lead here, up 8-2 as we start the top of the fourth. But Jack, what has been the story of this game? I know we talked about the first game being a lot of defensive errors, but what about this one?
Yeah, I think it's continued to be that, and then frankly, defensively for Washington, I think it's been Connor Lydon. Obviously surrendered a run the last time Keokuk came up, but you had those back-to-back-to-back Ks to end the second. I think he's been good, and I think his Washington defense has helped him a little bit as well.
And the defense helps him there. Parsons making the play on a soft dribbler hit by Micah Hagee. A tougher play than it looks, and they get the out.
Lucas Gilpin.
Yeah, that's just it. There was some hard contact at first. I think Layden has done a really good job from battling back from, a tough start to the game. Allowed a single from Lincoln Rye as a leadoff in the first inning. Bennett Church followed that up with an extra base hit. I think it's been better for the Washington field and for Layden since.
Lydon trying to cover first base on the ground ball to first base, but he doesn't quite get his foot on the bag, just ends up a little bit short of it. So that'll be a infield hit for Lucas Gilpin.
That did feel slightly like a jinx, as I was just saying. Lydon's had a good game, just couldn't find his footing there. It was a tough play because he was sprinting over initially to get it, and then had some cover there at first from Peebler, but then had to kind of switch roles on the fly and just didn't get his foot quite in the right spot.
And there goes the runner. Good throw over to second, and they got him. What a play by Zaglowski. Not the number one catcher for the Demons, but he's showing he's just as skilled as he gets the runner caught stealing.
And you know what that shows to me is, we've praised Washington for their base running in this game, but that tag, that pickoff shows it's harder than it looks to time up those runs and those steals, and Zaglowski knew it right away, made a heck of a throw. And like you said, to have him on this team as well as a couple of others who can step in and play catcher, Easton Rugg did so in the first game, is a super big asset for Washington to pick off base runners.
Yeah, it's big time, especially if the runner was in safely. It would have been a runner in scoring position with no outs, or 1 out. It would have been really helpful for the Chiefs to just find their footing in this game, get it into a flow, having scored a run last inning, and finally keeping the Demons off the board. One-two count to Gilpin, and called strike 3. So even with the base hit, it's 3 up, 3 down in a fun way, and we're headed to the bottom of the fourth.
Your adventure starts here. Capper Auto Group, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram will get you ready in style. Meet with our friendly and experienced team to find a vehicle that gets you on the road, and rely on our service shop to keep you there. Capper Auto Group. See yourself the Capper experience.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
At Washington Lumber and Home Center, our extensive knowledge, great pricing, and a long list of local installation experts, you are guaranteed to get the service you deserve with the quality you should expect. Washington Lumber and Home Center, your local place for great results.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Back here for the bottom of the fourth, a quick inning for the Demon defense, and Leiden has really strolled through 4 innings, pitching efficiently, only allowing the 2 runs on a couple of hits. And now the Demons look to add to their lead. No, they're up 8-2 now, and if things could go their way, I'm sure they're hoping for another run rule victory. And they already got one in game 1, 12-2. Scored a pile of runs there in that 5th inning to clinch it up.
I'll give some credit to Evan Beerworth as well. You mentioned Connor Leiden, his kind of command, only giving up the 2 hits. It's been obviously some mistakes that haven't helped Beerworth, and he's hit a few pitchers, walked a few, but he's worked his way out of a couple of mistakes here in the last, inning plus. Finally forced Washington into a goose egg their last time up, and if he can continue to do the same here, can start to kind of turn his own outing around. Whether or not that turns into a Keokuk comeback would remain to be seen, but I think he's done a good job, at least in that last inning, to work his way back and allow a scoreless inning, see if that can help him long term.
Here's a high fly ball to center field, and another great play out there by Rye. Center fielders today for the Chiefs have came up big. We saw game 1 Morgan making a play, but this one just as good from Lincoln Rye.
Well, Rye watched one go over his head, trying to do an over-the-shoulder catch in the first inning. But he apparently is much more fan of a ball he has to sprint toward. Obviously, much easier play to make for an outfielder. But, yeah, heck of a catch there to slide and make the grab and help his pitcher out.
Oh, big swing at that one. Dribbles it over to second, and there's an error by Nemenchek. And Brown is going to find himself over at second. That continues a rough game so far for the Chiefs' second baseman. He's made a couple of errors already. That's number 4 on the ball game just from Nemenchek.
Yeah, it's been a tough day there for him in seconds. Just a couple of hard hit balls that take a bounce. You've got the longer infield grass and obviously the dirt. It's not turf. It's not as smooth. Balls can take kind of weird bounces, but a couple of those have been routine field plays that he just kind of has to make there. But obviously, Brown able to take advantage and cruise in for a double.
It's tough, when you already have a couple of errors in the ball game, you start to kind of wish that's a ground ball that just goes foul down the third baseline. But you start to kind of wish and hope that the ball doesn't come towards you, and that's when you start to pile on those mistakes. I had an old coach tell me that you got to be out there in the field wanting the ball, just yearning for the ball to come your way because you want to see some action, and that's when you start to play really good defense.
Yeah, that's the most difficult part, is letting those mistakes not confound. And when you're kind of stuck there on an island, no matter what position you're playing, you start to really think about those mistakes, and you have to block out, to go back to your well-made point in the reference to Ted Lasso in the first game. Be a goldfish. You have to have a short-term memory.
Connor Leiden, though, someone who doesn't want to have a short-term memory. He's hit him, Beerworth, well so far today. Had that double and allowed out there in number 2. Now takes a ball. A couple foul balls put him at 2 strikes, but now 1 and 2. So he's seen the ball so well today. He's basically knows what's coming out of Beerworth's hands right as he throws it.
And that wasn't a bad pitch by Beerworth, just a little bit too low there in the zone.
Oh, nice breaking ball for called strike 3. Just as I said, Leiden was seeing him well. Beerworth drops in a curveball right on the inside part of the zone for strike 3.
Yeah, really, really good pitch there. Absolutely broken. Yeah, Beerworth might have heard you there saying Leiden knew the pitch right when it left his glove. He certainly didn't know that one. Watched it all the way. Nice breaking ball there for Beerworth. Let's see if that can keep him engaged.
Parsons with a nice hit right up the middle. Another diving catch out there in center field. What a play by Rye. A couple of web gems in this inning, and that keeps the Demons off the board as we head to the 5th.
At Wolf Floral, you'll find everything you need to spruce up your summer. Located on the southeast corner of the Washington Square, we've got you covered from small gift items to the finest floral arrangements around. Wolf Floral, unique by choice, not by chance.
Breaking news.
Are you looking for a sports show with intensity?
And we'll see you in court, Mark Cuban, you broke bum.
Are you looking for a sports show with passion?
Moment of silence for the name Wells Fargo Arena.
And are you looking for a sports show with whatever this is?
And today we are counting down Justin Bieber's top 10 girlfriends. That's right.
Make sure to check out Andy and Hunter every Thursday on Prep Sports Plus, breaking down all the high school sports from across the Southeast Iowa region, talking about all your favorite schools such as Washington, Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Waco, Winfield Mount Union, Pekin, and so much more. Make sure to check out Prep Sports Plus every Thursday at noon on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
My name is Levi Lyle. I have lived in Keokuk my entire life, but I've been an organic farmer for about a decade. Truly, the reason to do business locally is because of the joy and fulfillment that comes in relationships. Coming to Professional Proteins is an opportunity to work with good people.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
Back here now for the top of the 5th inning. This is when the Demons took control last game and ended up getting enough runs to end it after 5. The Chiefs looking to have a different ending and at least make it the full distance, the full 7 innings. But of course, they're trying to come back and win this game and get that first conference win under their belt. Evan Carr will lead things off here. Sits in a 1-0 count.
Yeah, Evan Carr, this feels like a huge at-bat here for Keokuk with the top of the order coming up. If he can start things well, get on base, keep it at 0 outs with Lincoln Rye, who has made his money in the outfield today, if nothing else. With him coming up after him, and then Thomas Nemchek, who's had a rougher day in the field at second, but the two of them coming up to hit. You know, if they can have no outs to work with, that could be huge. If Keokuk can even cut this deficit in half by the bottom of the 5th, they could feel like they can definitely get back into this game and take it the distance at least.
Oh, and they're saying he leaned in to the pitch, and that'll be a called strike, with which 2 strikes on him. Called strike 3. A tough one to wear for Carr. But now we'll head to the top. When she said Lincoln Rye has had a fantastic game out there in center field, but also at the plate. Doubled and singled so far today. A couple of runs scored. In fact, he scored both of the 2 runs that Keokuk has had this game.
Yeah, scored one of them on an error as well, that one in the 3rd inning. So definitely when he gets on base, Washington have to be dialed in to make sure they're not making mistakes and allowing him to do that again. And of course, first and foremost, Connor Lydon will be hoping to not let him reach base this time.
The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike.
A really nice curve start on the outside. Curved right back in on that kind of inside left corner of the zone.
Going way up top. Going fastball, just let go of it.
That one broke high. We've got Joel pushing producer buttons while we have the Lincoln Rye at bat.
Yeah, I lost control of my pen. 3-1 count though. Here comes Lydon. Swung on, driven, and foul. Good contact there from Lincoln Rye.
For the grief I'll give you for that, Joel, I have to give you props too. You've been an ace scorekeeper as well as calling both of these games today. It's a much more difficult skill than it sounds, folks.
Oh, thank you. I had some experience in this. What is this, game 7, maybe, that we've done for baseball and softball here at Washington?
I've lost count already.
I'd go through my scorecards.
Yeah.
But I don't have that capability of counting while also commentating. Still working on that part of my ball game. But 1 runner on first and 1 away for Thomas Nemechek. He's had a couple of errors out there in the field, but can make up for it here with the big hit. Leiden checking over at first. Back safely is Rye.
A couple of pass balls today for Leiden. Do think overall he's had a good outing, but certainly not the time to have those with Keokuk hoping to just pile on base runners here. And top of the order up.
Trying to lay down a bunt. There's Nemechek, but won't connect.
Nice pitch away from the zone, too. It was a good pitch to throw at that bunt attempt. He had to lean all the way over for it and couldn't make any contact.
Probably one of the smaller players on the field is Nemechek. Smaller strike zone comes along with it. Now 1-1.
That was another good-looking pitch. I thought that might have been inside the zone, but you mentioned Nemechek's smaller strike zone. Looked like it just clipped the bottom and it'll stay out for the first ball.
Batter calls time. Throw over the first, just a hair late. You saw a lot of those last game, especially when Blaze Richardson got on the mound. He has a strong pickoff move. But Demons still looking for their first runner caught on a pickoff.
Yeah, obviously Zaglowski got the one from catcher to second, but yeah, Leiden clearly has the arm for it as well and the instincts. But again, you just risk, not to take away from, the abilities of Ethan Peebler over there at first. He's had an all right game, but you just risk a throw over the head of him, and you're advancing a runner with only one aboard. That's what obviously Keokuk's daring him to do.
Well, the focus goes back to the batter at home plate, and he misses outside for ball 2. So 2-1 count. Leiden was working much more efficiently during the first couple of innings. These last two, he's struggled. There's a ball in the dirt. Throw down on the stolen base attempt, and in there safely is Rye with the stolen base. Rye has scored in both of his times he's reached base this game, and now looking to do that again in scoring position. 2-1 is the count. Or 3-1, apologies. 3-1's the count.
Rye has just given this Washington team fits all game long.
He's been the MVP for the Chiefs so far as that's fouled away. Count is full. Really good at bat here from Nemechek. He is 0 for 2 so far in this game, and in the last one, he got on by a fielder's choice and struck out. So 0 for so far, and he'll take ball 4. He didn't know if that was ball 4 or not, but it is.
Next up, number 10.
And now runners on first and second for the Chiefs.
Well, he swung at a very similar pitch, Nemechek, but you're right. Excellent at bat from him to just stay in it. Keep sort of Leiden. I felt like he almost kind of kept Leiden guessing a little bit. He threw him that pitch in that same zone, but Nemechek smartly took it and could take his base. And a nice moment for him, for as much as he struggled today in the field, to help out his team have 2 aboard here with just 1 out.
Now Bennett Church up to bat. 1 for 2 in this ball game. Doubled back in that first inning. That moved Rye over to third and eventually around the score. Now Church has a prime opportunity here with 1 away to advance these runners. Here's a hard chopper over to third into the outfield. The runner gets waved home. The throw from Medrano, not in time. And the runners will both advance on that throw home. So a single for the Chiefs puts them back into this ball game down 3-8. 1 away here with 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, really good base running there by Keokuk. Nemechek recognized the throw home, immediately ran to third, and didn't hesitate that time, and that allowed the throw to be just late. He's able to cruise in and put 2 runners in scoring position. Excellent play there by Keokuk. This is the inning they needed. And if you're Connor Leiden, have to get dialed back in here and keep the deficit or keep the damage to just 1 run if you can, but only 1 out here. It's a big moment in this game for Keokuk. I mentioned it, Joel, a second game can get weird in a doubleheader with how teams can respond to each other.
0-2 count now. And you also mentioned before this inning, if Keokuk can split the lead in half, they'd have a good chance in this ball game to hang in there. And they've already got 1 run, and they got those next 2 runs in scoring position. But there's strike 3 called. What a pitch from Leiden, and what a way to bounce back.
Next up is number 15, Evan Beerworth.
2 outs now for Evan Beerworth. He's 0 for 1 today. Had this RBI sac fly back in the first to score the first run of the ball game. And now a prime opportunity here.
Excellent work for Leiden to get that second out. That was a huge moment there with Beerworth coming up, and again just looks way late. Swung through a couple of pitches last at bat. Had that obviously weird ending the last time he was up there in the third, but really good moment there for Leiden if he can get back-to-back runners out. Strand 2.
Here's the 0-1. Just missing for ball 1. Count is even.
Another good pitch, just a bit high, but a good take there by Beerworth. Maybe another pitcher having the vision there to know that was just outside the zone.
This one swung out. Left center field giving chase, and grabbing it is Schiebel. What a play. We've seen the Keokuk outfielder, center fielder Lincoln Rye make some plays, but there's Schiebel putting it into the top of the 5th. We'll head to the bottom here. Washington up 5.
Here at the Morning Breath, we start every morning with style and grace. Engaging you with thoughtful and critically thinking topics to start your day.
Did you know that Pop-Tarts are like horrible for you?
While always maintaining a professional and family-friendly environment.
John, you're no longer a virgin.
Oh, and all the other stuff.
Flowers. Yes. We talk on all over the world. Out of
There's another word for that, Peter. What do we call that? Cold.
It is cold. It's going to get
Weekdays at 7:15, only on the Southeast Iowa Video Network Facebook and YouTube page.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
Summer is here, and Fairway's got you covered all baseball and softball season long. With a large variety and low prices, Fairway is the easy home run choice for all your grocery needs. Make Fairway your home field advantage.
Leading off the
back here for the bottom of the 5th, up to bat is Isaac Medrano. On deck, Ethan Peebler, in the hole, Luke Schiebel. The 7, 8, 9 batters for the Demons. And out there, back at it, is Evan Beerworth on the mound. He has been really good, bouncing back. He faced 7 batters in the first inning as this one's fouled away. 9 batters in the second inning. And then in the last 2 combined, only 8. So he's done a much better job getting outs quicker.
Yeah, and a good opportunity here for some more. Only hit he's given up to these 3 batters was Medrano. An RBI single in the first has struck him out. In the second has a couple of hit by pitches. Luke Scheibel's actually stolen second twice when he's come up, so he's a little bit dangerous, but good opportunity maybe for a 1-2-3 inning here if you're Keokuk, and then you go to the top of the 6th, you can really turn this game's momentum around.
Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3 right at the bottom of the zone, and there's a quick first out.
Next up, number 17, Ethan Peebler.
Exactly the start you want if you're Beerworth.
That'll be his 5th strikeout of the ball game, and 4 of them looking. And a good job, especially these past 2 innings, keeping the Demons guessing. There's a hard hit ball, just foul. There's been a couple of those for the Demons. Down the line, just hanging a bit out of play. But now an 0-1 count for Beerworth. doing a much better job locating the zone, too. Had a lot of control issues, especially in that second inning. And 3 hit-by pitches and a couple of walks. There's a nice drive there. Going out to right field, getting all the way to the wall on one hop. Ethan Biebler with a double. No, he's looking to go 3. And there's safely the throw-off line and a triple for Ethan Biebler.
What a response for Washington. The bats had started to get quiet. And of all people, the man who has flown out and ground out today, and he hits that one we talked about, that shallow right field. That one reached the wall easily. And it was a good throw over there from right by Carr, but Ethan Biebler, some excellent base running again for Washington, and a huge momentum play there for the Demons. Keokuk trying to work their way back into this and see if Scheibel can build off of that as the 9-hole hitter.
Yeah, it didn't matter that Biebler hit it out to the shallowest part of the outfield and right field, only 302, and he turned the burners on. I thought he was stopping at second, but he just got faster, I think, as he rounded.
Yeah, wheeled around and gave a big cheer to his dugout, too. It was getting rowdy earlier, of course, with the big lead that Washington managed to take, but had been a little bit quiet. That's going to fire them up, and yeah, sometimes that shallow right field can let you down if you're a base runner, but no, Biebler, certainly the burners. I'd like to see where he'd finish in a team race if they run polls or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of speed, so it'd be a great matchup. You know, you got Bowden Brown with some speed, Blaze Richardson, Nate Edmonds, and then of course Biebler.
Scheibel too, of course, yeah, the man up as well. He's stolen 2 bases today.
Be a real competitive race. Got to get Coach Roush to set it up sometime. Here's the 2-1, though, from Beerworth. Delivers outside, ball 3.
So, again, you see, Beerworth obviously giving up a triple. One of the few extra base hits that Washington's managed to get in a while. You got to re-get command of your zone here with the hitter's count to a guy who's stolen 2 bases already today.
3-1, the Scheibel swung on. Ground ball over the first base, picked up by Church, stepped on for out number 3. So the triple won't amount to anything. Or out number 2, I'm sorry for that. Getting ahead of myself there. The runner will score from third. And Washington up 9-3 now. Got that run back that they gave up in the top part of the 5th. And now we'll, at the top, Nate Edmonds up to bat.
Nice strike 1 pitch there by Evan Beerworth. Got the ground out that he was looking for on some weak contact, and that's where Keokuk has let themselves down defensively. Is Beerworth's been able to induce a lot of that weaker contact, but it's been fielders' mistakes that haven't allowed that to be rewarded. And that time, a good play over there by Church. Another pitcher who probably, has felt the pain a little bit of the fielders letting him down. Able to just collect it, jog back to first, had kind of the backhand scoop into his glove. Just made a good play over there, was alert to it, and able to secure the second out. But Washington does add a run, which will feel good for them after 2 scoreless innings.
Now it's a 2-1 count to Nate Edmonds. Washington trying to get a 2-out rally going to extend the lead. They'll have a lot of work. No one on base. 2-1. Thought about it. Stayed back. 3-1 now.
Good take there by Edmonds. Nearly went.
Let's see if Beerworth can turn things around. 3-1 count. Hitters count. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away. Full count.
At the very top, it felt like of his bat, just didn't quite get a clean barrel on it. But Edmonds looks to have him timed up.
I mean, he's seen a lot of pitches. 3 of his 4 plate appearances have gone full. This one fouled away and out of play.
Thought that might have just cleared that gap. And in fact, it does.
And the ball comes down, and Jack makes a great play. Picks up the ball and gives it to one of the young fans here.
Rolled right off the roof and back in our little kind of turret area between the net and the concession stand here.
3-2 pitch up high and ball 4. I said I wanted to see your fielding, you know. That's a slow roller there.
Yeah, it was an easy one. You know, the fielders out here, it's been a tough day for some of them, but they've had much more difficult pitches to deal with than that. That was an easy one. Maybe we'll get another opportunity.
I mean,
we'll call a game from center. I don't know how good our view would be, but maybe we, I don't know, get a home run ball or something.
Yeah, one goes over the fence, you go chasing after it.
Right. Just put on like mobile headsets or wireless mics or something. I'm sure our great producer Peter Camp would love to engineer that. I think he'd be a big fan of that.
He's shaking his head. There goes Edmonds, looking to get a stolen base in there way before the throw. And he'll be at second base safely. Mitchell Zaglowski, 1-0 count, and now he's got that runner in scoring position with 2 away. This is how a 2-out rally can get started. Just get that runner over to second, and now all it takes is a base hit. Here's the pitch. Hit over to third base, picked up, and thrown over in time by Lucas Gilpin. That'll be the third out of the inning, and they'll strand that runner out at second. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Demons on top, 9-3.
At Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction, we provide everything from design to complete installation of your kitchen cabinets. For small town service with competitive prices, Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction are here for you.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Your adventure starts here. Capper Auto Group, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram will get you ready in style. Meet with our friendly and experienced team to find a vehicle that gets you on the road, and rely on our service shop to keep you there. Capper Auto Group. See yourself the Capper experience.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Top of the 6th here at Dick Stoika Field. It is 9-3, Demons on top, and a new pitcher for the Demons. Out here for the 6th inning, it's Easton Rugg. We saw him catch in game 1, had a nice little break, and now back out in game action. So far this season, he's pitched in 4 games, so this is his 5th appearance, all in relief. 5 innings pitched so far, and he's done a decent job limiting hard hit balls, but 6 hits allowed and 6 earned runs.
Yeah, it's interesting. He pitched in their last game, that 5-0 loss. Only had 0.2 innings of work, just a couple of pitches. Did allow a hit, but got a strikeout as well. A couple of games ago in Washington's 17-0 blowout against Lone Tree. He pitched an inning in that one, got 2 strikeouts on 12 pitches. So definitely someone who's relied on in relief here, Easton Rugg. And, you know, a big moment for him as well. Just an 8th grader coming out to pitch and trying to engineer Washington, just kind of guide them to a victory. He does have a 6-run lead to play with, so, you know, relatively comfortable if he does end up doing both of these final 2 innings of work.
6-1 lead in a bottom of the order that's only gotten 1 hit so far in this game. 1 for 8 from the bottom 4 batters. Micah Haggy, 0 for 2 today, popped out to first base and grounded out to third base, and now in a 1-2 count. Here comes the payoff up top, too high, 2-2.
Just a little high on that changeup by Rugg, just kind of hung it up a little bit.
Quick working, goes breaking ball, popped up infield. Underneath it is Blaze Richardson, and he'll make the play at short.
Yeah, went with a similar pitch, another changeup. Had that one, lot better command of that one. Was a little bit slowing into the zone, but got the batter to get underneath it, popped it right up, no problem there on the first one. And that's got to feel good if you're Easton Rugg. You know, young player coming in, trying to close this out, not blow this big lead for his team, and gets his first batter out. Good moment, good start for the young 8th grader.
Gilpin grounds one right in front of home plate. A great play by the catcher, Mitchell Zaglowski. And there's a quick 2 outs for Rugg.
Yeah, really nice throw over there to first. And
Luke Willis.
Some good fielding will just help your confidence so much. And really nice start, exactly what you want from Rugg.
Zaglowski jumped out from his stance real quickly, chapped his feet, grabbed the ball cleanly. He didn't have a lot of time to throw it over, and the throw was a little bit rushed, a little offline, but nice job out there at first by Peebler to grab it and still keep that foot on the white bag out there at first. If he steps on the orange, it doesn't count. It's got to be the white if you're the fielder.
And I got to credit Coach Roush to, seeing that this opportunity for a clean inning for Rugg to come in and pitch.
So there's a base hit as you talk about a clean inning. But Luke Wills with his first hit of the day. He's had a tough one, striking out twice earlier in this game. But gets a little blooper to fall in the outfield, and now Evan Carr is up to bat.
Yeah, blooper indeed. And I guess a little bit of a mid-analysis jinx there. But, I do think with how much this end of the order has struggled generally for Keokuk, I think this was the right time to put Easton Rugg in, and if you were going to make a pitching change, you got an opportune time to do it. I think Coach Roush recognized that, and he was able to get 2 quick outs, and now obviously has a little bit of a learning moment here, try and deal with the runner on.
First pitch to Carr, in there for a strike.
He's pitching there and kind of broke late, painted that bottom left corner of the zone.
That's test number 1. Can you bounce back from a hit, throwing a strike? And he does. Now a nice curveball dropping into the zone for strike 2.
Some really nice breaking balls and curveball on these from Rugg here. Just look good with the off-speed stuff so far.
Here's the 0-2. Payoff pitch from Rugg. Tries to go curveball again, but hits the batter this time. So now 2 runners on for the Chiefs.
Now batting number 4, Lincoln Ray.
So again, you overdo it a little bit with the curveball, hit the batter. Again, got to dial in, but now this is a big-time moment for Rugg. Top of the order here. Lincoln Ray has had an excellent game. Whatever the result for Keokuk as a team, he has been awesome today, both in the field and at the plate.
He has scored all 3 runs for the Chiefs, has 2 web gems out there, a double and a single as well. Takes ball 1, and he has caused, no matter who the pitcher is, a lot of trouble. But Rugg trying to keep him off the base paths with 2 runners on and 2 away. They're 1-0 outside, 2-0 count.
A huge at-bat here for both teams. I think it has to be said. If all 3 of these runs can score, including Rye, you've got a different game heading to the bottom of the 6th. If Washington can get out of this, it'll feel huge.
Tries to go curveball there, just not enough vertical break to drop into the zone. It's 3-0.
Yeah, it's 3 off-speed stuff and just not placed where he's wanted. And maybe with Rye coming up a little bit nervous to give him a pitch he can hit.
3-0. Called strike. Kept his bat on his shoulders. A 3-0 count.
Gave him a pitch he could hit that time, but just inside enough. Nice response there. Still got a deal here at 3-1.
Misses down low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Next up, number 9, Thomas Merrick.
The 8th grader on the mound has a lot of traffic to work out of here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. He has 6 runs of padding there with the 9-3 Washington lead. But a great test for Rugg here against a conference opponent. It's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Thomas Nemechek walked his last at bat, but other than that has had a rough ball game. He can turn it all around here with the bases loaded.
Well, isn't this an interesting moment, too? An 8th grader against a senior at the plate, and Nemechek, who's responded well at the plate after some rough moments in the field. But down 0-2 quickly here. Rugg, 2 great pitches after missing a little bit with Rye up.
Yeah, Nemechek took quite the hack at that one, but it's 0-2. Just went up high. Let's see if he goes down low. Here's the pitch. Back up high. A little high and inside there. 1-2.
And you can see Nemechek kind of learning as he goes there. Took 2 kind of ill-advised swings to start, and then I think he sees that Rugg's going for kind of a lot of break and took that pitch smartly. Still down in the count, but
Nemechek's got to fix that elbow pad. Strap coming loose. Can't quite put it on. Having a lot of troubles out there. Just adding to a day to forget if you're Nemechek.
Yeah, it's been a tough one in the field, and obviously with such a big AB coming, he gets a little help from his third base coach there. Always need an assist sometimes.
And you do. Gotta take it. Here's the 1-2 with 2 away and bases loaded. Rugg gets set and delivers. Swung on, fouled away, staying alive.
I had a ton of break on that pitch. Nemechek swung super early, just managed to tip it off the kind of bottom of his bat and chop it backwards, but staying in the at-bat.
Yep, he was thinking fastball all day on that pitch. Here it comes again. 1-2 yet again. Swing and a miss there out of the bases loaded jam with a swing and strikeout. The first strikeout of Rugg's day. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Demons up 9-3.
At Washington Lumber and Home Center, our extensive knowledge, great pricing, and a long list of local installation experts, you are guaranteed to get the service you deserve with the quality you should expect. Washington Lumber and Home Center, your local place for great results.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
At Wolf Floral, you'll find everything you need to spruce up your summer. Located on the southeast corner of the Washington Square, we've got you covered from small gift items to the finest floral arrangements around. Wolf Floral, unique by choice, not by chance.
Breaking news.
Are you looking for a sports show with intensity?
And we'll see you in court, Mark Cuban, you broke bum.
Are you looking for a sports show with passion?
Moment of silence for the name Wells Fargo Arena.
And are you looking for a sports show with whatever this is?
And today we are counting down Justin Bieber's top 10 girlfriends. That's right.
Make sure to check out Andy and Hunter every Thursday on Prep Sports Plus, breaking down all the high school sports from across the Southeast Iowa region, talking about all your favorite schools such as Washington, Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Waco, Winfield Mount Union, Pekin, and so much more. Make sure to check out Prep Sports Plus every Thursday at noon on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
Back here for the bottom of the 6th, a new pitcher for the Chiefs, Zach Nemechek out there. He's a freshman. Hasn't pitched too much this season, only a third of an inning on 16 pitches. Getting some valued experience now on the mound. It's a 6-run ball game. And his goal is to keep it right at that.
Yeah, it's just game management. Outside of that triple from Ethan Peebler that Washington was able to score, it's been a relatively quiet last few innings. Obviously, that Peebler run was an explosive one, but tough spot here with the top of the mid part of the order, rather, with Blaze Richardson up. Not an easy area for Nemechek, the freshman, but like you said, huge learning opportunity here. And, if you're Keokuk, maybe you look at it if, the game is potentially out of hand offensively. If you're not able to add any more runs, it's a moment to let your young freshman go out there and learn and get some, like you said, valuable experience and strike out some legit hitters that have had some good days for Washington.
A 2-0 count from Nemechek. Up high there, 3-0. Richardson yet to be challenged in this at-bat. He's 0 for 3 today. He reached and scored it in the second off a couple of errors from Nemechek. Not the one on the mound, but the one at second base, Thomas. A 3-0 in there for a strike. Richardson thought it was ball 4, but he will have to stand in there for at least another pitch. Here's the 3-1. Swung on, fouled away, giving chase, but landing in the Chiefs' dugout. Full count now.
And credit, here to Nemechek for battling back from down 3-0 and getting a batter like Richardson out for your first one. Be a good way to start.
Bowden Brown on deck, Connor Lydon in the hole. Here's the 3-2. Up high, and Richardson takes first base.
Next up for the team is number 7, Bowden Brown.
Nemechek bounced back after going down 3-0. Pushed it to a full count, but walked him there. Bowden Brown now up to bat. He walked and scored in the second. Got on in the first on an error and scored then as well. He also got on in the fourth from an error, but he stopped at second. Here's a check over at first in there. Well before the tag is Richardson.
Yeah, sophomore Brown has had, you talk about experience, right? And has had a lot of chances at some at-bats and, some weirdness to them as well, like you mentioned with the errors and having to know what to do in those moments. He's made some really smart plays, I've thought, throughout these two games.
In there safely at second is Richardson with the stolen base. And they're standing. And yeah, Brown sits in. 1-0 count. And beginning of the year, he was a back of the order hitter. Now he's worked himself all the way up to cleanup. And not only does he provide a good bat, but a lot of wheels out there too. Here's the pitch. Just missing for ball 2.
And Washington, the potential to have some insurance runs. Been really quiet, really, since that big 5-run second inning, rather.
That one down in the dirt, 3-0 now. Tough time finding the zone as Nemechek.
Yeah, and it's some of these pitches just barely missing. Doesn't seem like he's trying to do too much necessarily. Just a bit off with some of these. Got to drop a couple in the zone. He's missed a little too high, a little too low. See if he can get back composed stepping on the mound here.
This one in there for strike 1.
That's exactly what I mean. That one dropping, but you had a couple pitches that dropped a little too far. That one just hangs in there. If you can get the muscle memory of that, remember the feel of it. Have a few more pitches like that. Help manage this 6th.
That one over to third, picked up, throw over to first, in the dirt and over the head of the first baseman. Rounding third is Richardson on his way home. In there safely. The ball gets away again, and there goes Brown over to third, safe at third. So a lot of errors. The Chiefs looking like the bad news Bears. And another run has come across for the Demons, and Brown just stands on third on what should have been a ground out to
Demons,
third.
Number 10, Connor Lydon.
So 10-3, Connor Lydon up to bat.
Well, and that's, if you're Nemechek there, that's exactly what you wanted. You get the little chopper, you get the weak contact. It has been what the Keokuk pitchers have managed to induce on several key occasions in this game, but then the fielding just letting them down, the throwing. I mean, that should have been, an infield single at worst. Instead, Brown able to advance all the way to third on a couple of errors. I saw the Keokuk shortstop and third baseman too protesting over there. You got Gilpin and both the Gilpins rather over there. They were protesting, thought the tag was in time, but regardless, just not helping out their relief pitcher. And Washington taking what feels to me like probably an insurmountable lead. Obviously no guarantees, but big moment there. Just fielding, letting Nemechek down after he was able to induce some weak contact from Bowden Brown.
Yeah, I'll stand by you on that insurmountable lead. 10-3, up by 7, runner on third. No outs and a 3-0 count. And Leiden will turn around. I don't think it'll hit him, but it won't matter. That'll be ball 4.
Next up for the Demons, number 13.
Men on the corners for Julian Parsons.
And Keokuk going to have a meeting here. I don't know if they're going to make a pitching change, but it could potentially already be it for Nemechek, which, again, just unfortunate. It really wasn't his doing that run coming in, but see what Keokuk attempts to do here. They've have some relative deep bullpen experience. Obviously, Bennett Church played the first. Memphis Anderson's pitched a little bit. You saw Beerworth start today's game. Micah Hage's made 5 appearances this year.
Jackson Morgan, another name. 3 games started. Came in relief in 1. But they'll stick out there with Zach Nemechek. See if he can get out of this 6th inning. The Demons trying to possibly even run rule the Chiefs again here in the 6th. They got that 10th run of the ball game at the plate. There goes the runner. The ball gets past Wills, but honestly, that might be for the better is what we've seen today. A couple of throwdowns from the Chiefs have resulted in Demon runs.
Yeah, the ones particularly toward second base have been very, very troublesome all game long. But again, Washington base running just on it right away. That runner was going regardless and able to make the tag and 2 in scoring position.
2-0 count, and I mean, you look out at second base right now. Leiden was getting a massive lead. He was out almost all the way to where the shortstop Zach Gilpin was at. I mean, you see him go again. He's getting a huge lead. No one's holding him on, and could easily score on one that escapes the infield. Here's the first strike of the at-bat to Parsons, 2-1.
Yeah, it's just very difficult for any defense when, Washington's able to establish such a presence on the base paths. At this point, if you're Nemechek, you're not even really worried about the base runners. You're just trying to get the batter to ground into something easy.
Here's a high fly ball to left field, and underneath is Hayner. And he has it pop out of his glove, then back in. The throw over to third. He actually won't. The runner did tag in time. I thought he might have left a little early because Brown saw the ball hit the glove of the left fielder, but he stayed on just enough to stay on there after it was bobbled by Hayner. But an out and a run scored.
Yeah, the ball popped out, and I saw Lucas Gilpin appeal for the ball back after they threw it home. But the ump didn't even really think about the call that time, so must have deemed that time that runner, like you said, had made the tag in time, and he did, and it's 11-3.
I might be wrong, but I think there is a rule there in place just in case players want to fake bobble it in the
if the contact, is induced.
But the first pitch of this at-bat to Isaac Medrano. Actually,
Easton Rugg, I think, is in for him now.
Yep, Rugg pitching and hitting now in this game. 1-0, and it's in the dirt, so Connor Leiden goes to third. An 8-run ball game. Now, the Demons have done a good job adding insurance runs in both games today. It took them a while to get back on the board after the first 2 innings. in this game, but they scored 1 in the 5th and now 2 so far in the 6th, looking for a third with Leiden on third. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, hard ground ball, breaks through the infield, and that'll be an RBI single for Rugg. 12-3 now, 9-run lead.
Now batting for the Demons, number 17.
Game-winning
Ethan
run
Peebler.
by Mercy Roll out there on first base. And up to bat is Ethan Peebler. He had a big triple in the last inning, his last at-bat.
Yeah, and a big response by the Washington bats just to take advantage of some slightly shaky pitching there by, a reliever new to the game. And obviously the base running has just continued to be elite. And, again, I say a little bit of shaky pitching. It was really that error that has set up 2 of these 3 runs so far. Those couple of throwing errors on that little dribbler to short. And the fielding not helping the pitching either. But Washington, regardless, an outstanding game for morale-boosting game for the hitting and the base running tonight.
Yeah, and speak on base running right there, Rugg with a couple of stolen bases. And now they've got a runner back at third base just like that, 2 pitches later. Though a tough swing and a miss there for Peebler. He swung out 1 in the dirt, tried to hold off, but he did swing. Going 0-2, 1 away, runner at third. Just needs to throw 1 into the outfield. His pitch swung on and hit just a hair foul. Right down the first base line. Would have put an end to this game, but instead it's 0-2.
Good contact from Peebler. Of course, the extra base hit, getting the triple in the 5th. He can certainly deliver and sprint around the bases. And like you said, all he really needs is a single, but has the contact to do it.
Swing and a miss there on a pitch outside and in the dirt. He'll chase it for strike 3.
Next up for the Demons, number 12.
And the game will extend
Luke
by
Schiebel.
at least one more batter here. Luke Schiebel up to bat. Had an sacrifice ground out in the 5th inning that scored Peebler. Also came around to score in that 2nd inning.
A couple of stolen bases as well for him.
He's looking for his first hit, though. Takes ball 1. Top of the order on deck.
Credit to Nemchek, too, on that last pitch for the 3rd strikeout. Dipped way out of the zone, but got Peebler to chase.
Peebler chased at a couple pitches that at-bat. That pitch in the dirt. Got to be careful there. A pitch in the dirt could end the game, too, with Rugg, a quick runner out there at third.
Yeah, you obviously want to do well to get Scheibel out with Nate Edmonds coming up after him. I don't think Edmonds would be denied an opportunity to win this game, but you don't want to overdo it either.
Ball 3 now. Trying to extend this game is Jack Nemechek. Give the offense another opportunity, if not to somehow claw back in this 9-run ball game, but at least give them some more reps. Here against the conference team, there's ball 4, 4-pitch walk, and now we're at the top of the order. Nate Edmonds up to bat.
Nate Edmonds.
And this is dangerous position now for Nemechek. Edmonds has had a good game. Reached base 3 times on a couple of walks. Stole second as well. Hasn't made much contact actually today, but has gotten on base a few times and certainly is capable of that as the leadoff hitter for Washington. And
first pitch down low, and to your point, he scored 4 runs in between these 2 ball games, or 5 runs actually, but he has yet to get a hit. He got on base a couple times because of an error in game 1 and a walk. In this game, he's walked 3 times. 1-0 outside, ball 2. Well on his way to a 4th walk. He's struck out in the 3rd, looking on a full count pitch. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, driven out to center field right there at Rye. And he makes the grab for out number 3. We will head to a 7th inning where Washington will try and close it out up 9.
My name is Levi Lyle. I have lived in Kyoto my entire life, but I've been an organic farmer for about a decade. Truly the reason to do business locally is because of the joy and fulfillment that comes in relationships. Coming to Professional Proteins is an opportunity to work with good people.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page. Here at The Morning Breath, we start every morning with style and grace. Engaging you with thoughtful and critically thinking topics to start your day.
Did you know that Pop-Tarts are like horrible for you?
While always maintaining a professional and family-friendly environment.
John, you're no longer a virgin.
Oh, and all the other stuff.
Flowers. Yes, green the bottom. We talk on all over the world.
Out of
There's another word for that, Peter. What do we call that? Cold.
It is cold. It's going to get
weekdays at 7:15, only on the Southeast Iowa Video Network Facebook and YouTube page.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
Out to close it out for the Demons is another 8th grader, Julian Parsons. He's following up Ruggs' good appearance out of the pen and now trying to secure the 12-3 victory.
Yeah, Parsons has made some really nice appearances. Pitched in that last game as well, went a couple of innings. I was wondering if we were going to see him. Had 6 strikeouts actually in just 2 innings of work against West Branch. That ended in a 5-0 loss for Washington, but just 1 earned run for Parsons in that game. So a different role for him coming into close, but a 3.75 ERA for him, 1-2 record. No saves on the year, but pitched 9 innings in total so far this season, but I'm excited to see what he's kind of made of again. And, you know, Washington set themselves up for being able to rotate through a couple of pitchers. Obviously, they would have wanted to have a better result than they did against West Branch, but didn't have anyone go more than 2 innings. So kind of had their entire body of work available with 3 days to rest after that game. Facing the middle of the order here, Parsons. See if he can have some smooth sailing. Got 3 more insurance runs to work with, too, here with a big 12-3 lead.
Yeah, and getting up big in this game has allowed Rugg and Parsons to both get some appearances, and it's big for your 8th graders to come out here and pitch against teams in your conference. Here's a drive to left center field. Drop into the glove of Connor Lydon out there in left field, and Bennett Church is retired.
And a 1-pitch, 1-out. There for Parsons. Couldn't ask for much of a better start than that. Well, I don't know how much is. I guess this is his ballpark, so he probably could have felt coming off the bat that it wasn't going to go deep, but that had some zip on it.
Yeah, a loud first out. Zach Gilpin now up to bat, swings at strike 1. Gilpin today walked twice and struck out looking in the last at bat. Now it's a 1-1 count. That one just a bit inside, 2-1. Nice breaking ball in there for strike 2. The count's even.
Really good pitch there by Parsons. Like you said, breaking ball. Slid right into that middle part of the zone. Just trying to paint that kind of left-hand side, sort of grazing almost off the jersey at times there of
the 3-2 called strike 3. Good curveball in there for a quick second out. Parsons showing some skill out there on the mound. We've seen him at third base all season long. He's been phenomenal with the glove out there and has been one of the better hitters, too, on this ball club. And now showing some good pitches. Got a good mix out there. This one in the dirt and out to the wall. Evan Beerworth up to bat. Actually, that is Zach Nemechek coming in the pinch hit for Beerworth. Ball inside, 2-0 count.
Yeah, new pitcher for Keokuk, of course. Had a little bit of a tough outing for the field again. Give up those 3 runs.
Now,
good contact there, though.
Up the middle. Picked up by Richardson. The throw to first, not in time. Nemechek will head over to second as the ball bounces out of play into the Keokuk dugout. So a runner on second with 2 away.
A nice dig there by Nemechek. And again, if nothing else, helping keep his side alive with his at-bat.
Next up is number 3, Micah Hagee.
Michael Hagee up to bat. After this game, Keokuk has a busy rest of the week. You got Fort Madison on Thursday, and then next Monday, a doubleheader against Burlington. A couple of tough games for them coming up, as we're right about the midpoint of the season, just past it. Here's a pass ball, the throw over to third, not in time. Runner advances to third, and it's a 2-0 count.
A nice idea initially there by Zaglowski, but just couldn't make the throw quite in time. Good base running again by Nemechek. Picked up on it right away, recognized it, and was able to get in time.
Foul tip there for strike 1. Washington with a game against Oskaloosa tomorrow. That'll be right here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network. So be sure to tune into that. That's at 7:30. And then on Thursday, they're at Burlington. So that'll be a good game. Burlington won both games of the doubleheader earlier this season here in Washington. 3-8 and 4-9. But Washington, they kept it close with Burlington. Burlington's one of the strongest teams here in the SEC.
Yeah, and I mean, this Washington team has shown things tonight that to me make me think they definitely can keep it close with anybody in this league.
3-2 pitch, breaking ball, called strike 3, and that'll end the game. Washington completes the sweep, 12-3. And a big couple of games, a couple of blowouts. We'll have that all recapped for you here after the break. But the Demons with the sweep tonight against Keokuk Chiefs.
Summer is here, and Fairway's got you covered all baseball and softball season long. With a large variety and low prices, Fairway is the easy home run choice for all your grocery needs. Make Fairway your home field advantage.
At Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction, we provide everything from design to complete installation of your kitchen cabinets. For small town service with competitive prices, Southeast Iowa Cabinets and Strabela Construction are here for you.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Your adventure starts here. Capper Auto Group, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram will get you ready in style. Meet with our friendly and experienced team to find a vehicle that gets you on the road, and rely on our service shop to keep you there. Capper Auto Group. See yourself the Capper experience.
There are places where all roads lead to families providing for their loved ones and their community. That's where you'll find us. Generation after generation. Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
At Washington Lumber and Home Center, Our extensive knowledge, great pricing, and a long list of local installation experts, you are guaranteed to get the service you deserve with the quality you should expect. Washington Lumber and Home Center, your local place for great results.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
At Wolf Floral, you'll find everything you need to spruce up your summer. Located on the southeast corner of the Washington Square, we've got you covered from small gift items to the finest floral arrangements around. Wolf Floral, unique by choice, not by chance.
Breaking news.
Are you looking for a sports show with intensity?
And we'll see you in court, Mark Cuban, you broke bum.
Are you looking for a sports show with passion?
Moment of silence for the name Wells Fargo Arena.
And are you looking for a sports show with whatever this is?
And today we are counting down Justin Bieber's top 10 girlfriends. That's right.
Make sure to check out Andy and Hunter every Thursday on Prep Sports Plus, breaking down all the high school sports from across the Southeast Iowa region, talking about all your favorite schools such as Washington, Mount Pleasant, Fairfield, Waco, Winfield Mount Union, Pekin, and so much more. Make sure to check out Prep Sports Plus every Thursday at noon on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
My name is Levi Lyle. I have lived in Keokuk my entire life, but I've been an organic farmer for about a decade. Truly, the reason to do business locally is because of the joy and fulfillment that comes in relationships. Coming to Professional Proteins is an opportunity to work with good people.
Back here for the post-game show presented by Community First Credit Union. We just saw a phenomenal doubleheader by the Demon baseball team. A couple of big wins, 12-2 and then 12-3. Couldn't quite get the run rule victory in game number 2, but man, they were close. And it all starts with Connor Lydon. He set the tone, only allowing 3 earned runs. Had a good line, 5 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks. What did you like from him in the defense today?
Yeah, I thought he responded really well to a couple of early hits by Keokuk and really dialed in. Had those 3 strikeouts in the second that I thought really set the tone for the rest of the game, and obviously the Washington hitting, giving him, obviously Easton Rugg and then Julian Parsons, who came in and finished the game, giving all of them a sizable cushion that I'm sure made them feel a bit more comfortable, but you have to still make the plays. You have to still work and deal and get out of those innings. And I thought Connor Lydon did a really good job setting the tone there. His defense helped him a little bit as well. There were a few errors, but I thought made some good plays out in defense for Washington. Obviously, Nate Edmonds, the web gem catch out in second. He had a couple contenders for the best web gem of the day today through both games, but he made a nice snag, and I was just really impressed in Connor Lydon's command. Both pitchers, in both games for Washington, really painting that inside corner of the zone against those righties, and I thought that really made the difference there in terms of Keokuk not being able to drive in the same number of runs as Washington.
Yeah, and Washington jumped on Keokuk early, 8 runs through the first 2 innings, but Evan Beerworth did a good job for the Chiefs, bouncing back, keeping the Demons at bay. They scored a couple runs late, but you take away the first 2 innings, there's a pretty even ball game there, and the Demons offense, they didn't quite light up the scoreboard on the offensive side when you look at hits and walks. They got a lot of help from that defense for the Chiefs.
Yeah, they absolutely did. That was, to me, the story of the doubleheader itself was the fielding and some of the mistakes. A super decisive moment. You go into that 6th inning. It's still a sizable lead for Washington, but chance to get out of that 6th quickly. You've got Zach Nemechek in to pitch. He gets that kind of slow roller towards short, and 2 throwing errors end up scoring or turning into a pair of runs that ultimately got 3 in that bottom of the 6th, and the lead was virtually insurmountable from there for Keokuk. And it was just plays like that over and over from both games that really hurt the Chiefs defensively, and they weren't able to get out of innings as quick as they would have liked to, and that kind of let down some otherwise strong pitching, I thought, from Beerworth. Nemechek was all right, and again got the kind of ground ball he wanted with 2 outs, would have got out of that inning, and it's just those fine margin plays that then Washington was able to make snowball, and credit as well to the Demon base runners. I thought they had a game plan. They knew they were going to be running today, and they made the most of their time on base, taking extra bases, knowing that Keokuk kind of struggled to get those pickoff plays, particularly from the catcher position. You had multiple players with multiple steals in both games, so I thought that was really impressive and things to build on for Washington.
Yeah, the base running was phenomenal in Washington with a big couple of conference wins. That puts them at 3 in total. Big boost to their conference record, but they got some tough games coming up. You got Burlington next week, but of course tomorrow night, Oskaloosa. That'll be here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network, so be sure to tune into that and join us for the game at 7:30. Should be a fun one. But before we let you go, quick look at the softball scores. We saw 14-5 in Game 1, a Washington victory, and 6-3 in Game 2. That one also going the distance, just like baseball in Game 2. But a couple of victories, so full-on Demon sweep on both diamonds this Monday night. So, you can't start the week better than that if you're a Washington fan.
No, absolutely not. And softball continues to roll. We'll have their broadcast and their next game coming up on Friday as well. So tune in to the Southeast Iowa Video Network for that. But yeah, they're having an outstanding season, setting the pace in the SEC, staying undefeated as well with those conference wins.
Yeah, right up at the top. It should be fun to watch the rest of the year. But thanks for tuning in. And on behalf of the crew, have a good rest of your night.